how we build this. Are you civilized? Is your current workplace civilized? As I said, just offering a bunch of perks and benefits and HR resources, there are a lot of, especially the big companies, that offer all that stuff, doesn't make a civilized workplace. What I like to say is, it's interesting. If someone gave me a pair of skis and said, here's this great gift, and I'd be like, I'm going to return this. I don't ski. What do I do with this? A lot of times in workplaces, benefits are offered, but it's not a one-size-fits-all. I have people say to me, we have all this great stuff, but if I'm a single person who doesn't have kids, sometimes I start to feel a little envious. Well, they have flex time because they can take care of their kids. They have FSAs because they can do dependent care for their kids. You have adoption help. What do you got for me? Where's the pet insurance program? And so sometimes you can offer everything under the sun, and employees still don't feel grateful. And you're like, why aren't you grateful for this? I've had, young people come to me and say, do I have to have the health care? Can I just have the cash? I'm young, I'm healthy, I don't need it. And I, of course, say, no, you must have the health care. Right. On that, I have to be maternal. But the interesting thing is that it's not just the package. It's making sure that the package works for your employees. I had a man who was building a business come to me for consultation to ask how to make his employees like an open workplace. And I said, well, you have to find out what motivates them. If you're taking away private offices from people who are used to having them, is it, what would make them feel better? Is it more vacation time? Is it having a chance to pick the way their office space is going to look? And he said, well, I was just going to offer them these 3 things. I said, but those 3 things may not fit everybody. You have to engage the employees. The other thing that most companies do is I call this paper is cheap. We all have vision and value statements, right? And they all have words like teamwork and learn and best, right? And we're all going to treat each other well. But most of these things, oftentimes, only live on paper and not in reality. And what I call fake values, one of my favorites is we value the team, right? But one guy who's the star gets the private office. The team's out here, right? but the individuals get rewarded. We don't bonus the team. We only bonus individuals. And most people don't say, but of course you would only bonus the stars, but your values say teamwork. If your values say we value individual performance, that's fine. Because then it's clear. It's just that most of the time people talk about all this value stuff and they don't really live it. That's why their workplaces are uncivilized. So how do you create a civilized workplace? It takes 3 things. Time, patience, and yes, money. And this is when people go, I don't know if I want to hear about them or that. But it absolutely does take some money. But it's an investment, the same way you invest in anything else in your business. And size doesn't matter. People always say to me, I'm too big for that, or I'm too small for that. Size doesn't matter. There are all kinds of companies of all different sizes that I could point to that have done this very well. So I have created my 4 rules to the civilized workplace. They are listen, trust, what I call go behaviors, and lastly, the one culture approach. I'm going to walk through each one of these. Listen. Again, isn't that a cute picture? Don't talk at employees. Most companies talk at their employees, right? They have one way. You get an email. You get a memo. You get communicated to. That is not communication. When you are talking at someone and not getting a response back, you're not sure you're being heard. You have to get off what I call CEO island. A lot of times, communication is all top-down from someone at the top who says, this will be my vision, and I will bless all of you down here below me. Follow in my footsteps, right? But if it's not coming bottom up, if you're not getting feedback that it's working, that it's real, then it's not going to work, and you're not going to have a civilized workplace. I use this little cartoon. You'll actually see it's on our intranet. Who's the best person to figure out how to increase productivity on an assembly line? Is it the person working on the assembly line, or is it some manager, maybe in an office, 14 miles away? This cartoon just says, Hall, you used JavaScript without approval from the e-business information design team. I was making my bio page cooler. Fool, it will cost $200 to change it back. It's better this way. He said, we have guidelines. I was like, I know, I stapled them to my wall. Oftentimes, guidelines, the rules, we have to do it this way. Stifle innovation. And people start to feel like, well, if they just want me to keep doing it this way, I'm going to keep doing it this way. Manager says, well, now do it every 5 seconds instead of every 6 seconds. And one of the things that we found in our agency, we have what I call the employee-driven workplace. we have a group, we call it RVB Works. It's made up of employees. When it comes time for us to pick a new database for media, I don't do media relations every day. I don't look in the database. Who looks in the database? And by the way, I should have introduced, Michelle is here tweeting, so we're live with the tweet world right now, what's going on here. And Rebecca's doing our flip cam so we can save this as a video file and attach it to the website. And anyone who wasn't here can say, damn, I wish I was there. Michelle uses the media database. Doesn't it make more sense to have your employees look at? If I were looking at it, I'd be looking at what? What do most managers look at when they look at vendor choices? Price. Cost. Right? Cost. How fast can I get it? How much is it going to cost? What are my service warranties? She looks at, does it work? What's more important? And you know what? Actually, this year when we bought our new system, we ended up buying one that was a little less expensive. Because they know, too, if we have X dollars to spend, what do they want to spend it on? We just bought the flip cam. We used to have an old one. And when Michelle sends me a note and she says, you know, it would be a lot easier to do the flip cam, I go, okay, you're in charge of our digital and social media division. Those people who are directly related to the tasks have far more insight and ability to help you make smart decisions about where to spend your dollars. Second one, what I call go behaviors. Avoid policies aimed at stopping behaviors and instead provide tools to accelerate positive behaviors. So what are go and stop behaviors? Go behaviors are flexible work schedules. Something like a spot bonus, where you say to someone, you did something right now, I'm going to tell you it was great. Interactive communications, when you track employee engagement. Benchmarking, role models, like when you say, you know, other companies have done this, let's see if it works for us. And training. Stop behaviors are when you say things like, you will not make personal calls. When you reward jerks, who everybody knows is a jerk. When you only have top communications. When you limit employee decision making. You know, when you say things like, we saw the guy who said, you know, when you build your bio, you must build it in Excel. You know, but it would look better if we did it in Word. But it must be in Excel. Stop behaviors constrain. Short-term focus and behavioral sticks. I'll give you one example. When we did flexible work schedules, in our office, everyone sets their own hours. Down to the bookkeeper. I don't know, you can decide if you want to start at 8:30, 8, 9, 9:30. You know, if you want to work from home, we have a system. You have to just log on to the system and say where you are so that people know. You send a message out to your supervisor saying, I'm waiting for the plumber tomorrow. You know, I'll be working from home. We gave everybody laptops, and everybody has a smartphone. So, and we also have what's called single number reach. So when I dial, if you dial my direct line, it rings on my cell phone. So Penny doesn't need to know where I am. Wherever, I don't have to tell Penny I'm working from home today, or here's my cell phone number. She knows one number, and she finds me. I was at a presentation where I said, someone said to me, you bought everyone laptops? How do you know they won't steal them? And I said, if you think all your employees are liars and thieves, then you've got more problems than others. You know, everybody signs a little form with the equipment that they get, saying they understand, you know, and yeah, we've had a few phones go in the toilet. You get one shot. And then after that, if your phone gets broken, you got to pay the $50 replacement fee. And most people, many of our people use this as their only phone. What do you think that does for productivity? When a client can reach you 24/7, they have your number. When I say to someone, I need you to work this Saturday, and you say, oh, I went to the doctor on Thursday, or I went and took my plumber on, you know, I didn't work that day, so I'll do it on Saturday. It creates a sense of continuity, of workflow, that makes a huge difference.